You go out of town and your friend offers to take care of your plants while you're away. You've been collecting these plants for a lot of years, and you even have a few rare ones. After getting back from vacation after 2 weeks, you get back and you find out that not only did your friend never come over to water your plants, they're all now dead. After saving up your money, you're finally able to afford a new computer. So your family takes you to Best Buy, you get a brand new MacBook, and as you're walking out of the store, your little brother, who's running around, bumps into you and knocks the computer out of your hands and the screen breaks. Growing up, your mom was extremely jealous of you and did everything that she could to make you feel invaluable. She called you ugly and unlovable, and you grew up feeling super insecure. You never followed any of your passions because you didn't think that you would ever actually be able to fulfill any of your passions. And so now you're old and you feel lonely and you blame your mom for how your life turned out. All three of these examples have something in common. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the concept of extreme ownership, what it is, how to apply it to your life, and how it can truly change your life. A new study done by Brandeis University, University of Rochester, and the German Institute for Economic Research set out to find out if feeling in control of your life resulted in a higher quality of life and even a longer lifespan. Researchers looked at 6,135 people between the ages of 25 and 75. Participants reported how much they agreed on statements on their sense of personal mastery and perceived constraint. Personal mastery included statements such as, I can do pretty much anything I set my mind to, and perceived constraints included statements like, what happens in my life is outside of my control. The researchers then got mortality data from the people who answered this survey from the National Death Index. The researchers looked at the data for over 14 years, from 1995 to 2009, and found that the people who felt like they had more of a sense of control over their life had a 13% less risk of mortality. So what is extreme ownership, and what is so vital about it that it could potentially even decrease our risk of dying? Extreme ownership is the practice of owning everything in your world to an extreme degree. It means you are responsible for not only those tasks which you directly control, but also for all of those that affect whether or not your mission is successful. Now, let's rewind to the 3 stories that I shared at the beginning of this video. How can we apply extreme ownership to all of these examples? So you get home and you find out that all of your plants are dead. Most people's gut reaction would be to be very angry with their friend for not only letting their plants die, but for, I think on a subconscious level, not valuing your plants as much as you do. Here's how you can take extreme ownership in this example and then make better decisions moving forward. So in the story, I said that the friend offered to water the plants for free. So in this example, you can take ownership of the fact that you went the cheaper route by kind of trying to get a free deal by someone watering your plants rather than paying someone to do it. You've now learned the somewhat universal truth that people who do things for free aren't really as incentivized to do a great job as people who are paid to do it. So next time you can offer to pay them, or you can hire someone off of a website like TaskRabbit. Number 2, you never checked in with your friend to see if they were actually coming over. You just trusted them, which they're your friend, so you thought that you would be able to. So next time you can set reminders to text the person, whether it's your friend or someone that you hired, to remind them to come over and water your plants, and also to check in and make sure that they actually did come over and water your plants. Now let's move on to the next example. You come out of the store, your brother has been running around the entire time, and he bumps into you and knocks the computer out of your hand and the screen cracks. This would obviously be very unfortunate and quite easy to be very angry at your little brother and very, very annoyed. So some options for taking extreme ownership in this example are knowing that your brother has high energy, so just leaving him at home. But maybe you guys don't have a babysitter and that's not an option. Another way of taking extreme ownership is instead of going with your family, because sometimes doing things with your family is a little bit chaotic, you can go with a friend or you can go by yourself. But let's say that you maybe just moved to the city, you don't have any friends, and you're not old enough to drive yet. So in this example, understanding that maybe you had the choice to carry the computer in a bag rather than in your arms, and that while highly improbable, there always is a chance that maybe you trip or your little brother runs into you and the computer is easily knocked from your arms. So next time you carry something valuable in your arms, you think a little bit more carefully about what the potential risks are, and you think a little bit more clearly about how to take better care of whatever valuable thing you're carrying. And finally, the last example. You grew up with a jealous mother. She never complimented you. She told you that you were ugly and that you were never going to be loved, and she made you feel like you were never going to be as beautiful as she is. I know what you're thinking. How can I take ownership of that? I mean, I was just a kid. How was I supposed to know any better? And you're right, this is a tricky example, but the idea of taking extreme ownership is not to take extreme ownership of other people's actions or words towards you. It's more so to take extreme ownership of how those words affect you and how you go about living your life afterwards. Here, you have two options. Listen to your mother your whole life and go on feeling as if you truly are unlovable and ugly, or realizing that your mother was insecure and that her words hold no meaning and that you are able to redefine who you are and what you mean to other people. There are deep concepts that take getting to the place of being able to take extreme ownership in this example, because this can be such a personally devastating thing to have to go through, but it is possible to get to a place of being able to take extreme ownership of how your mother's words affect you, if you even have a relationship with her, and how you go about living your new life with new definitions for yourself. The reason taking extreme ownership is so transformational is because, as you can see in these examples, it really changes the relationships that you have with the people around you. You no longer blame or feel resentment towards the people in your life because you take complete ownership over everything that happens and how you feel. Now, a part of taking extreme ownership is potentially removing people from your life if they continue to show patterns of unkindness or untruthfulness. Extreme ownership is taking ownership of your own life, not playing into the victim mindset. Additionally, another reason that taking extreme ownership is so important is that if you don't feel like you can take control over the things that happen to you, then you're never going to change what happens. A truly wise person takes ownership over every single aspect of their life. You do not want to be the person who thinks that things just happen to them and that's the way they are and they have no control over their life, because I promise you that is simply not true. Everything that has happened to lead you to where you are right now in life has been a decision, whether you want to admit it or not. I hope you're really able to take this concept in and begin seeing how taking extreme ownership can truly change your life. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on extreme ownership, and maybe share some examples of ways that you're going to begin taking extreme ownership over your own life. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.